Hello and welcome. Tonight, INEC clears the air on Kogi election, fixes December 5 for supplementary governorship polls. Attorney General of the Federation says All Progressives Congress is allowed by law to replace governorship candidate Abubakar Audu. Fuel scarcity bites harder as Senate investigate cause of scarcity. An explosion hits bus carrying presidential crew in Tunisia.
On business news, for the first time in almost 6 years, the Central Bank of Nigeria cuts monetary policy rate by 200 basis points to 11%.
And on sports news tonight, coach Samson Siasia releases Dream Team 6 squad list for Africa Under-23 Nations Cup to be held in Senegal.
And Sulaiman Alleges. The controversy generated by the outcome of the Kogi governorship election may have been put to rest as the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has announced that the All Progressives Congress, the APC, can choose another governorship candidate for the Kogi state supplementary election. INEC says the supplementary election in the 91 affected polling units has been slated for the 5th of December. Chief Abubakar, who was the leading candidate for the APC, passed on shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission declared the result of the exercise inconclusive, causing a vacuum. Given the peculiarity of the circumstance, there was no clear-cut provision in the Nigerian Constitution and the Electoral Act to address the issue. The AGF also says APC will be allowed to provide another candidate to substitute former Abubakar Audu, but he did not say if that person will be Audu's running mate, James Faleke, according to speculations. Malami revealed this on Tuesday in Abuja at a seminar organized by the Nigerian Law Reform Commission on the reform of the National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency.
Fundamentally, Section 33 is clear that in case of death, the right for substitution of a political party is sustained by the provision of Section 33 of the Electoral Act. And then if you have a community reading of that section with Section 221 of the Constitution, which clearly indicates that the right to vote is the right of a political party. And the political party, APC in this case, has participated in the conduct of the election. So it is apparent that the combination of community reading of the two provisions does not leave any room for conjuncture. APC as a party is entitled to substitution by the clear provision of Section 33 of the Electoral Act. And then Section 221 of the Constitution is clear that the votes that were cast were votes that were cast in favor of the political party APC. So arising from that deductions, you do not require any legal interpretation. Interpretation is clear. APC will substitute, which right has been sustained by Section 33 of the Electoral Act. And then so be it. Upon the substitution, the supplementary election that has to be conducted will be conducted along the line.
The All Progressives Congress says fresh primaries will be conducted in Kogi State to pick a replacement for Abubakar Audu. Audu, who passed away on Sunday, was the party's candidate in the November 21st governorship election. Speaking with reporters at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja, Chairman of the party, John Oyegun, said the decision to hold fresh primaries was taken after the APC received a letter from the Independent National Electoral Commission asking it to replace Audu. The federal government has condemned the practice of youth who offer themselves as agents of corruption and thuggery. Speaking in Abuja at a national conference on youth against corruption organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, the Minister of Justice of Youth and Sports, Mr. Solomon Dalung, advised youth in the country to resist corrupt practices. The minister urged them to shun manipulation by people who do not mean well for Nigeria as a nation.
From across the Federation, youths converged on Abuja at the instance of the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission organized National Conference on Youth Against Corruption. The The Minister of Youths and Sports challenged youths to live above board at all times.
The victim of corruption in Nigeria is the Nigerian youth. And the vector of corruption also is the Nigerian youth. The Nigerian youth, though frustrated by the failure of the state to provide good governance, had also offered itself as an instrument for manipulation in the promotion of corruption.
The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission and a member of the commission decried the role of youths in the fight against corruption.
We have focused specific attention to get our youth to understand where they belong. I don't know if you have noticed that the persons who cause a lot of problems in society the world over and create wars happen to be outside the bracket of 18 to 35.
There is a huge temptation for the youth of today to relate everything to success in monetary terms. We have to be clear about our choices. Is it money, fame, or name?
Some youths, however, believe that the fight against corruption can be won with the collective efforts of all Nigerians.
Most of our students nowadays, they are practicing corruption, they are even involving in malpractice and manipulate their way to success.
It takes integrity to fight corruption, because corruption is a very chronic disease.
The conference, titled Mobilizing the Nigerian Youth Against Corruption, seeks to engage potential leaders in order to mold their attitudinal disposition to matters of corruption and the war against the phenomenon.
President Muhammadu Buhari says sabotage and theft of gas supplies are undermining the efforts of the federal government to increase power supply in the country. President Buhari said this today in a question and answer session with the Nigerian community in Tehran, the capital of Iran, where the president is attending the Gas Exporting Countries Forum Summit. The president also announced that existing military task forces will be reorganized to ensure successful protection of the network of gas supplies. On the issue of corruption, one of the three issues he identified as the priorities of his administration, President Buhari said the necessity for compliance with due process of the law is responsible for the delay in the prosecution of looters of the country's economy. The federal government is seeking partnership with the British government to combat crude oil theft in the country through the tracking of movement of ships by the global insurance company Lloyd's of London. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Khadija Ibrahim, at a meeting with a delegation from the UK led by the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Paul Arkwright, said Nigeria's major areas of interest for partnership are economic development, corruption and security. The British High Commissioner said the British government is working on returning stolen assets to Nigeria and is already encouraging investors to increase direct foreign investment.
Oil and gas have been the main areas in which the United Kingdom and Nigeria have had a lot of trade relationship but unfortunately, now that the price of the crude oil has gone down, Nigeria is seeking to diversify in areas of agriculture and mining. So we seek the assistance of more trade relationships with the United Kingdom in the area of agriculture and mining. Now, there is no sound economy without security in the country. No investors will come to a country where there is consistent war and terrorism. No investment will be safe with insecurity. And since the Boko Haram insurgency, there's been less investment in Nigeria by a lot of countries. But with the assistance of the United Kingdom, I think that it will come a long way in helping to assist Nigeria in fighting the Boko Haram menace.
Lloyd's Insurance of London, Lloyd's of London, are responsible for insuring most of the shipping around the world. The idea is that Lloyd's might be able to keep track of a number of the ships that could possibly be responsible for bunkering or for taking stolen oil out of Nigeria. That's an area where we're looking to cooperate with the Nigerian government and bringing together Lloyd's of London and the Nigerian government to see what more we can do in that area. And on the economy, part of my job is to encourage British investors to come to Nigeria, to invest in Nigeria, to create jobs and employment here. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So we're hopeful that the new economic team will provide the right kind of environment and send out the right signals and messages that will encourage investors to come here, because confidence is everything for investors, and we are confident in the future of this country.
In part two, after the break, more campaigns for the two leading political parties in Bayelsa State. Do stay with us.